Вот, например, мы недавно на другой выставке, не буду озвучивать, сделали международную конференцию AirVent. Там мы приглашали наших зарубежных коллег, и вот сегодня один из этих участников конференции AirVent приехал к нам, и доклад его будет на английском языке. Это Хусейн Юксель, он представитель Евровент сертификат, и сделает он доклад European Union Eco Design and Eco Labeling Review for Ventilation Units. And I will ask you to speak slowly so that everybody can understand what I'm telling about.
Of course, thank you very much. Доброе утро. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hussein. I work for Euro and Certita certification. And I come from Istanbul. My colleague from Paris could not come due to the latest travel and quarantine rules. We apologize. Извините. So, as Mariana said, my presentation will be in English. This is about the latest studies of eco-design and eco-labeling review for ventilation units. The EU is modifying the legislation for these units in order to make them more efficient and possibly to provide a better indoor air quality. It started about 13 months ago, and it is expected to end. The draft final report is expected to be ready by the end of this year, but nowadays giving a date is difficult. You know why? For existing requirements of residential ventilation units, home type ventilation units, specific energy consumption for average climate, average European climate, has to be 20 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. Sound power level has to be smaller or equal to 40 decibels. Every unit must be equipped with multi-speed or variable speed drive. All bidirectional ventilation units have thermal bypass facility, so the air should be able to pass out of the heat recovery section with a bypass channel and dampers. Then ventilation unit with filter must have visual filter change warning signal, because old filters, stuffed filters, are bad for energy efficiency and for indoor air quality, as you very well know. And these letters are for energy efficiency. They are defined according to specific energy consumption, and the lower levels, E, F, G, they are being cancelled. A, B, C, D are now available. The scope. This legislation includes multifunctional units with heat recovery system, or also a heat pump system, ventilation units which have a smaller energy input, smaller than 30 watts, not kilowatt, only 30 watt. And normally the air volume is smaller than 250 cubic meters per hour. Between 250 and 1000 cubic meters per hour, it's a gray zone. It can be residential or non-residential unit. The the manufacturer declares it, which type it is. Over 1,000 cubic meters, it is defined as non-residential ventilation unit. Exclusions are some specific implications. Effect of filters is being included, and on the units and everywhere, the following information has to be given. Filter classes, air velocity, filter media, clean pressure drop, filter change intervals, and filter bypass leakage rate. An additional eco-design requirement is a very low 0.2 meter per second velocity for filter media. And specific power input has to be calculated for filter classes EPM1, 50% for supply, and for coarse filter for exhaust, 60%. And energy label is mandatory. With the existing legislation, all units are being calculated for one standard working point, but it is not enough. So in the future, probably there will be more data for more working points, so the design engineer can select a more suitable, more efficient unit under the specific conditions of that project. There is another proposal to introduce adjusted pressure parameters, PUS and PU. US is not about America. PUS is the difference between static pressure at unit outlet and total pressure at unit inlet. PU is more simple, difference between total pressure at unit outlet and total pressure at unit inlet. These proposals will lead to a single and unambiguous reference point, and it will create an improvement on the overall general energy efficiency. Controls are important. So further differentiation of control options and adjustment in the valuation of controls are necessary. This also affects the indoor air quality, not only energy efficiency. So residential ventilation systems strongly differ in their ability to achieve good ventilation performance and related indoor air quality, which primarily depends on, first, type of air exchange provisions, second, type of controls. This is a kind of a big topic, and a lot of ideas are being discussed right now. For bidirectional ventilation units, there are leakages, and there are important internal leakages. So additional eco-design requirement will be introduce limit values for maximum internal leakage rate following the related European norm. Then the testing method will be re-evaluated as well, and it will be probably a pressure-based test. Then the declared thermal efficiency will be corrected according to the new method. Climate zone and heat recovery. Today, this energy label is for room air conditioners. For ventilation units, there are no three climate zone, but only one standard average European climate zone. But this is important. It changes from place to place. So this type of three climate zone energy label will be applied soon for ventilation units as well. Defrost has an impact on energy efficiency and it is easy to calculate. So it will be included in the energy efficiency calculations soon. Sun power level on label is a bit confusing today because on the label the sun power level is given for average air volume, but next to it the maximum air volume is given. So people think that that sun power is at that maximum air volume. This will be clarified. Primary energy factor is currently 2.5, but the aim is to reduce it to 2.1. It's a very important and ambitious target. It's not very easy to do it, but it will be very good when we reach it. So we should reduce it to 2.1. The tolerances for verification are 7% for specific power inlet and 7% for thermal efficiency. And the tolerance for sound is 2 decibels. Market surveillance is important, has to be applied. Now for bigger non-residential ventilation units, as I said before, it's for 1,000 cubic meter per hour. Multifunctional units are included. Between 250 and 1,000 cubic meter per hour, manufacturer declaration defines the type of the unit, residential or not. And air handling units primarily used for recirculation, having also a ventilation function with related return, our volume flow rates between, anyway, it's a long sentence. The fresh air has to be minimum 10%. It shouldn't be not only a recirculation unit, but there should be some at least 10% fresh air. Let's skip the exclusions. Information requirements are pretty much the same as residential ventilation units. And for final pressure difference, the calculation method is a little bit different, adding 50 Pascal or adding 100 Pascal and compare it with 3 times the initial pressure difference and select the smaller one as the limit is the method. And label will be the same as I told before. Controls are again important, more important actually, because these are bigger units, and these discussions started recently and there are way to go to finish them. Primary energy factor and tolerances are the same, but for bigger units, sound power level tolerance is 5 decibels and not 2 decibels. As Euromed Certita certification, we do certify such units and air handling units. Shortly, how we do it? We have laboratory tests, we have on-site factory audits, and we check the design software for the units. Testing at the laboratory will be done for real units and for model boxes. Typically once every 3 years for real units and once every 6 years for model boxes. And two tests for each range. If the manufacturer has several ranges, then there will be more tests. After the tests, we recalculate the selected real units output performances with the test results. If they match within tolerances, the certification is guaranteed. And there are factory audits. An auditor goes for 1 day at least to the factory and conducts the audit, select the real unit, etc. And there is also the checked software. We also use the software thoroughly and see if it fits our rules. Last but not least, there will be a Eurovent summit in Antalya, which was aimed for the end of this year. But nowadays, calendars are getting mixed up, so I cannot promise about the date. But it will be in Antalya, Turkey sometime. It's a third summit of Eurovent. It's every 2 years. First one was in Berlin, second in Sevilla, third one in Antalya, Turkey. It's a very good opportunity to meet European and beyond European experts and business people in this industry. This is the place that's for meeting days, and to join you can contact my colleague Andrea Gasparova, or you can visit the website of the event. Thank you very much for your time. Большое спасибо. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.
Спасибо большое.